I am She-Hulk. I am the second, third generation, one removed from She-Hulk, aka Jennifer Walters. And now I'm mad. No, I'm just kidding. I just want to be a Hulk, but hasn't happened yet. Welcome back to another handsome review with your handsome host. It is I, Jameelajamil, and I am glad to be back because we have some things to talk about, specifically She-Hulk episode 5. Stay tuned. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to talk about She-Hulk, specifically episode 5, as I just mentioned seconds ago. I have a couple of ideas and concepts I wanted to talk about. So we're going to start with the idea of what an A storyline is and what a B storyline. Basically, the A storyline of a TV show is the main focus of the episode, and then the B storyline could be something that a lot of times is similar to the theme in order to have it hit hard, but also to fill in the runtime of any show, because usually shows sometimes can be like 30 minutes, 24 minutes, 44 minutes, so you can't just have like one main focus. Otherwise, it gets boring. But you have like these other characters going on a separate adventure, which eventually leads back to the main concept, to the main theme or the main focus, or maybe something that we're supposed to be paying attention to that's going to affect the future. So I want to start with the A storyline. The She-Hulk name was put on trial. Yeah. This episode, she was fighting for her rights, specifically her name rights, because Titania, who the actress has declared is the most annoying Marvel villain, had copyrighted the name She-Hulk and used the name to sell her cheap lipstick products. So that became a problem. She-Hulk didn't really care about it, but then her boss was like, do you know how bad that makes us look that we were outwitted by a different person? We're lawyers, and you're supposed to be representing a branch of our lawyership. I just made that word up. But yeah, of our lawyership. So she had to go and defend the name. So he was like, I'm going to get one of our best people, and she's going to defend you. Ultimately, it came down to Titania being prepared on any kind of rebuttal, because she already had a bunch of footage ready to be used showing that She-Hulk, aka Jennifer Walters, had rejected the name, saying that that's not my name. So making it look like she only wanted the name after this other woman tried to take it away from her. You know what I mean? But in reality, the lawyer was smarter. And actually, She-Hulk also came up with the concept as well, where she's like, there is a way for me to prove that I've used this name and that I've embraced it. And then even more important, that the other woman, Titania, had only taken the name because it had become something important after She-Hulk had used it. So that's why eventually She-Hulk would have to bring all her past Tinder dates on stage, on the court, to explain how she had used her name She-Hulk with them already and had identified as it before anyone else tried to use it for any type of financial gain. So then basically she had to air out her dirty laundry. And that kind of goes back to like what happens to women, that a lot of times they're embarrassed for things, for having a sexual past, for being a person, when in reality, guys do the same thing. And so even her lawyer ended up telling her at the end, you're kind of brave that you would put your own dirty laundry, you would tell everybody about something as intimate as the people that you've dated, even if it was just for one date. Because she said her boss would definitely not have done that. So, that kind of just continues the feminist ideas that She-Hulk has, which makes sense, because that's when you have a female character, that's the kind of point of view that you're going to really get across. A lot of times, I think specifically when you have female writers and directors really putting their spin on it, they can use the character as an avatar to explain bigger concepts while entertaining us, So I did like that. The story had like a kind of a deeper idea, talking about something more serious, but it was still funny. Specifically because all her old dates came back, and then Todd made a reappearance, who at this point I'm convinced is going to become a Hulk villain eventually, because of the fact that she was attacked a couple of episodes ago by some men looking for her blood, working for a rich benefactor, and then she had a Tinder date with this guy named Todd, who said he was very wealthy and wanted to know if her skin was penetrable, and also how basically she worked, including calling her a fascinating specimen. So, when you have all that stuff together, it kind of screams Marvel villain, or at least like a James Bond type of villain. So I'm very excited to see what happens with Todd, especially since they brought him back for a second episode. So besides the main storyline, we had the B storyline. In this case, it was all about Pug and Nikki, who are basically her close lawyer friends, while they were looking for clothes for She-Hulk. While at the same time, she was working with the lawyer who's very popular and wealthy and told her, you need a new wardrobe. And then it turns out that Jennifer Walters just happens to have two friends who were working on getting her new clothes. And, they started making fun of the idea of like what's popular and seen all over TV and movies, which is like when you go to like specifically shady spots where you buy imitation of like really expensive products, such as an expensive purse that sometimes is made of leather, but the thing that they buy is made of pleather or anything that's fake that looks just like it, So I like that. I thought it was a little funny, especially because when they talked to the guy who supposedly sells the stuff, he took them to a secret place, which had like very fake looking stuff. And then one of the best spellings of Avengers I've ever seen, the Avengers t-shirt was great. I would buy that. So if you're listening, Marvel, if you sell that, I will buy the Avengers shirt. That would be great. And let me see. So it was kind of cool to see all that stuff. The Captain America shield looked like a toy, which is, on purpose because it's not real. And then eventually he connects them to this real kind of, underground superhero clothes maker. And they lied to him saying, oh yeah, she's top tier Avengers. But in reality, it's She-Hulk. So they meet her and everything, and then he does the measurements, and then towards the end of the episode, he comes back, and he's like, take all this clothes. I made this. And she's like, when am I going to wear this? I didn't see too clear of a close-up of what the clothes was, but then right next to that was the Daredevil yellow helmet. I'm very excited to see Daredevil. I haven't seen him in years. I hope that the Daredevil Born Again show will, even though I know it might be a little funnier, a little sillier than the Netflix shows, I still hope they get a little bit of that grittiness that Netflix really did great with the Marvel Daredevil. So I'm very excited about that, to have more crossover and to see where the episodes go from there. I think at one point we'll see another like real Hulk villain, and I want to see a little more fighting and not to just save it for episode 9. And I need to see Daredevil in action too. I want to see him fighting along with She-Hulk, so we can get some real cool action scenes, That's about all I have to say on the episode. Thank you for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, to subscribe, and let me know in the comment section below. What do you think of this episode? What do you think of the lack of action that these episodes are having? Because for me, I'm getting used to it just because I'm starting to think that what Marvel is doing is that it's branching out into these different genres. So it's not always going to be action focused, especially because it's a TV show, which means it's always going to be cheaper. You know why? They have to split the budget into several episodes. And so that means each episode has to have a certain amount of money in order for it to look good. And I think that's why they always cheapen out with these Marvel shows, the Marvel Disney Plus shows, when it comes to the action. So yeah, let me know in the comment section below what you thought of the episode, if you're looking forward to Daredevil, and if you think that Todd really is going to be a new Hulk villain. Thanks again for watching. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you next week.